Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and I said I was going to do this video, and this video is going to be on my top 10 most anticipated films for this year, 2019. And 2019, this year looks like it's going to be a good year for films, for movies. And I went to Wikipedia. I looked at the months of the films that I'm looking forward to are being released, and I just put the films in my my top 10. So hopefully I get a chance to go see these films in the theater. Some of them I may see online, through streaming. If it looks like it's not a film that I have to rush out to see in the theater. So hopefully I do get a chance to see some of these. But so this is my top 10 most anticipated films for this year. And coming in at number 10 is Shazam. And this is a film that I'm looking forward to. It's based on the DC Comics character. And the film stars Asher Angel, Zachary Levi, Mark Strong. And saw the trailer for this. And this looks like a fun movie. Looks like a very fun movie. It's a comedy, sort of a comedy superhero film. And it says here, it's basically about Billy Batson, who is played by Asher Angel. He's a teenage boy who can transform by saying Shazam. And so when he says that from the trailer, it turns him into a superhero. And of course, Shazam is played by Zachary Levi. But like I said, this looks like a funny film, a very fun film. It's coming out in April. It's going to be released in regular and in 3D, starting on April 5th. So I'm definitely looking forward to Shazam. It's going to be a fun superhero film. So really looking forward to that. So that's number 10. Number 9 is Glass. And this is coming out in 2 weeks. And I'm looking forward to this. This, cumulatively, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm looking on Wikipedia. It's a cumulatively forming the Unbreakable series. And of course, the film is written, produced, and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, Ding Dong. We got Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson, reprising their roles from the first Unbreakable film, where Bruce Willis played David Dunn. And he's a former football prodigy turned into a security guard who has superhuman strength. And Samuel Jackson reprises his role as Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass, who is a mass murderer and comic book theorist with type 1 osteogenesis imperfecta, and he also has super intelligence. So we get those two reprising their roles from Unbreakable, which I really enjoyed. Unbreakable, I think that's M. Night Shyamalan's best film that he's ever did. And you got James McAvoy, who reprises his role as Kevin Wendell Crumb from Split, which is another M. Night film that I really enjoyed when it came out. That character of Kevin, who has 23 personalities, and he ended up kidnapping these girls, these teenage girls in Split. And in this film, you also get Anya Taylor-Joy, who reprises her role as Casey from Split. And she was one of the girls who was kidnapped by James McAvoy in Split. And this film is following the conclusion of Split, where, if you remember, at the end of that film, we saw Bruce Willis there. And he pursues James McAvoy's character. This is the premise. Following the conclusion of Split, David Dunn, played by Bruce Willis, pursues Kevin Wendell Crumb, played by James McAvoy, his superhuman persona of the Beast, in a series of escalating encounters, while the shadowy presence of Elijah Price, played by Samuel L. Jackson, going by Mr. Glass, emerges as an orchestrator who holds secret credentials to both men. And the trailer to this, I really like the trailer, and let's say I'm really looking forward to it. It's coming out the 18th of this month, so that's in 2 weeks. And it looks like it's going to be a good film, hopefully. But we all know, M. Night Shyamalan. He had his doses of shitty movies, that he did, in the last decade. So yeah, so looking forward to Glass. And so that was number 9. Number 8 is a film called Us. And this is Jordan Peele's, another film that's going to be directed by Jordan Peele. He's coming off of Get Out with this film, which Get Out was one of my favorite films of 2017. And I saw the trailer for this, saw the trailer for Us. I actually saw it today. And this looks like a really good horror film. Very intense film. Looks like a very intense film. And there's no way that this film could disappoint because it has Jordan Peele. He did a good job with Get Out by directing, writing, and producing that film. That was his first directed film. And so for this film, Us, he directed, written, and produced the film. And it stars the two actors from, it stars Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke. Both of them were in Black Panther. And the premise of the film here is a husband and wife, Gabe and Adelaide Wilson, played by Winston Duke and Lupita Nyong'o. They take their children to their beach house, hoping to spend time with friends. And it says their serenity soon turns to tension and chaos when a group of strangers arrive. And from the trailer, these strangers look like them. Look like Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke's characters, and also their children. And these strangers are wearing like white, creepy, masks. And like I said, this looks like it's going to be a good horror film. Very creepy film. Very creepy looking film this is going to be. And hopefully it doesn't disappoint. It has Jordan Peele directing, like I said. He written it and produced it. So there's no way that this film could suck. So, but this is another film that I'm looking forward to. Like I said, from the trailer, looks very intense. So that's number 8. Number 7 is Captain Marvel. And this film stars Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson's in it, Ben Mendelsohn, Annette Bening, Clark Gregg is in it, Jude Law. So, and basically it says the premise here is set in 1995. Captain Marvel follows Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson, a former U.S. Air Force fighter pilot, as she turns into one of the galaxy's mightiest heroes and joins Star Force, an elite Kree military team. And we all know, about the Kree. It's mentioned in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And if you read the comics. And it says, before returning home with new questions about her past and identity, when the Earth is caught in the center of a galactic conflict between two alien worlds. And the trailer for this I really liked. I think Brie Larson is going to do a fine job playing Captain Marvel. And Samuel Jackson reprises his role as Nick Fury. Clark Gregg as Phil Coulson. So, but yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to Captain Marvel. I know it's gonna be a good film. It could end up being a fun film. It's also set in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, so that's Captain Marvel. Looking forward to that. That's number 7. Number 6 is a film that I'm really looking forward to after seeing the trailer, because the trailer for this film was absolutely entertaining and really good, and that is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I'm so pumped for this film. After watching the trailers to this, I'm really pumped up for this film. I enjoyed the 2014 Godzilla film. I know there are some people who didn't, but I was actually entertained by the 2014 film. Saw that in the theater with my friend. We both really enjoyed it. And from this film, it stars Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga from Bates Motel and the Conjuring films. Millie Bobby Brown, who plays Eleven from Stranger Things, which she's awesome in Stranger Things in that role. Bradley Whitford is going to be in it. Sally Hawkins, Aisha Hines. I like Aisha Hines. She was in that show Under the Dome, which was a guilty pleasure show when it was on. And she was also in, if I remember, that CW show called, what was it called? Yeah, it was called Cult. And she played I remember she played a detective in that show, which that's a very forgotten show that was on in like 2013, which I sort of enjoyed. But Godzilla, King of the Monsters, it's going to be directed by Michael Dougherty, and Gareth Edwards is not coming back to return to. Gareth Edwards is not coming back to return to direct. But yeah, so it says right here, the new story follows the heroic efforts of the cryptozoological agency Monarch as its members face off against a battery of god-sized monsters, including the mighty Godzilla, who collides with Mothra. So that's cool, Mothra's in this. Wish that they would have made a standalone Mothra film. So, collides with Mothra, Rodan, and his ultimate nemesis, the three-headed King Ghidorah. So this is going to be interesting, because King Ghidorah is one of Godzilla's best, nemesis. And it says, when these ancient super species, though to be mere myths, rise again, they all vie for supremacy, leaving humanity's very existence hanging in the balance. Which that was the premise from Legendary and Warner Bros. And I'm reading this from Wikipedia. But really looking forward to this film. I'm really pumped up for this film after seeing the trailer. The one guy who reprises his role from the 2014 film is Ken Watanabe, who played Dr. Ishiro Shirazawa. I think that's how you pronounce the character's name. So he's the only one who reprises his role from the 2014 film. But like I said, really looking forward to this film. Very pumped up for it after seeing the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters, I highly recommend it. It's a very entertaining trailer that will get you pumped up to see this film. So that's number 6. Number 5 is, I had to put this down, Toy Story 4. I'm really looking forward to Toy Story 4. I know Toy Story 3 was supposed to be the last of the Toy Story trilogy, as what they said, but I guess they want Disney and Pixar wanted a Toy Story 4. And the film picks up from Toy Story 3, where the toys have found a new appreciation after, being given up by Andy, and they were given to a girl named Bonnie, and there are new toys introduced here. They are introduced to Forky, a spork that has been made into a toy. It says they soon embark on a road trip adventure alongside old and new friends. So that's the premise to Toy Story 4. But this film is going to be set to release in June of this year. It's going to be, of course, 2D and 3D, IMAX 3D. So, yeah, so Toy Story 4, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I grew up with Toy Story. I love this trilogy. I grew up with the first film and the second film. Watching the first Toy Story, I remember watching a lot as a kid. I watched that film again and again and again because I remember my uncle, he made a copy for me of it on VHS because he made a copy of it because he had it on Laserdisc, I remember, and he gave it to me. He gave me the VHS copy that he made from the Laserdisc when I was a kid, and just when he gave it to me, like I said, I kept on watching the first film again and again and again. I was memorizing the lines from the film. So yeah, so Toy Story has made a big impact on my life. Watching the films. I had the toys. I had the Woody toy. I had the Buzz Lightyear. It was like, I remember it was like a special Buzz Lightyear. It was I think it was called like the Star Command Buzz Lightyear, where it was in silver. Some of you might know what I'm talking about if you remember seeing that Buzz Lightyear, that version of Buzz Lightyear at like Toys R Us when you were a kid. But it was that Buzz Lightyear. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up a picture of it. Should be on Google Images, or look it up on eBay. So, but yeah, I remember having those toys, and I also had the RV, the RC toy, which they released at Burger King. I remember. But yes, that's Toy Story 4 at number 5. Number 4 is the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, and that is Spider-Man Far From Home. And this film is set to be released in July. Of course, it has Tom Holland, Michael Keaton, Zendaya reprising their roles. Also, Marissa Tomei reprising her role. But I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home. They keep on saying, oh, the trailer's going to be released. The trailer's going to be released. And still no trailer. They keep on holding off the trailer. Come on, Sony. Release the trailer. But in this film, it takes place after Avengers Endgame. And it says right here, Peter Parker goes on summer vacation to Europe with his friends. And while he's there, while abroad, he teams up with Mysterio to battle the Elementals. I think that's how you pronounce it. So Mysterio is going to be in the film. Mysterio is going to be played by none other than Jake Gyllenhaal. So that's going to be pretty cool to see. Hopefully Jake Gyllenhaal pulls it off. So yes, that's Spider-Man Far From Home. That's coming out in July, on July 5th, a day after the 4th of July. So that's number 4. Number 3 is Artemis Foul, and this is a Disney film. This is an upcoming Disney film that's going to be released. I saw the teaser for this. Looks really interesting. It's a fantasy adventure film. It's based off of the novel of the same name by Eoin Colfer, I think that's how you pronounce the name. And it's going to be directed by Kenneth Branagh, who directed the first Thor film, which I really liked. I really enjoyed the first Thor film. And Robert De Niro is one of the producers of this film, so that's pretty cool. The only person who I know that's in this film is who's going to be in this film is Josh Gad, and most of the others are like unknowns that I don't know. But Josh Gad, he was I remember he was in Pixels, the Adam Sandler film. But the teaser trailer to Artemis Fowl, it seems like an interesting film. I would have to wait until a full trailer has been released, but this is coming out in August of this year. So it seems interesting. So that's Artemis Fowl at number 3. Number 2 is, of course, Star Wars Episode 9. What more can I say about that? So that's Star Wars Episode 9. And then the number 1 film that I am looking forward to for this year, I know it's going to be on everybody's number 1, and that is Avengers Endgame. And this film is possibly going to be the most anticipated superhero film for this year. The conclusion, part 2 of Infinity War, and we'll see how this film goes. Well, I know it's going to be a good film. Hopefully the film ends with a good conclusion. So yeah, so that's my number 1, Avengers Endgame. So to recap my top 10, number 10 is Shazam, number 9 Glass, number 8 Us, number 7 Captain Marvel, number 6 Godzilla King of the Monsters, number 5 Toy Story 4, number 4 Spider-Man Far From Home, number 3 Artemis Fowl, 2 Star Wars Episode 9, and number 1 Avengers Endgame. So that's my top 10 most anticipated films for this year, 2019. Although there are some that I might want to check out that didn't make my list. Like I want to check out Alita Battle Angel, which this is a Robert Rodriguez film that he directed. It's based on the manga Gundam, I think that's how you pronounce it. James Cameron is one of the producers, and John Landau. The film stars Christoph Waltz, Jennifer Connelly, Jackie Earle Haley's in it, Rosa Salazar. This film was supposed to come out last year, but it got pushed back, I think, twice. This was originally supposed to come out in July of last year, and then it was delayed to December 21st, which it was supposed to come out then, but then it ended up getting pushed back. And so now it's coming out on Valentine's Day, on February 14th. So I saw the trailer for this. It actually looks like a interesting film. I like the animation style to it. So hopefully it turns out to be a decent film. With Robert Rodriguez directing it. And it's going to be released in regular 2D and in 3D and in IMAX 3D, also Dolby Cinema. So, but this is a film that I want to give a watch after seeing the trailer. Another film that I also want to check out but didn't make my list is a film that's coming out this Friday. It's called Escape Room, which looks interesting, but it's not a film that I would rush out to the theater to see. I will wait for this film until it comes on a stream. The film stars Logan Miller and Deborah Ann Woll. Logan Miller, he was in he was in Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which I never saw, but I actually do want to give that film a watch someday. But he's in the film. Deborah Ann Woll, who was who played Karen Page in the Daredevil series, the Marvel Daredevil series, which I'm pissed that they canceled because I didn't start season 3 yet. And with that cancellation news, I'm like, why bother watching season 3 now? So, but I like Deborah Ann Woll. I liked her in the Daredevil series. She did a good job. And so, they're among other films that, that are coming out this year that I might check out. Like, I know they're doing the new Kingsman film, Kingsman 3, Zombieland 2. There's Sonic the Hedgehog, which I saw like the design of Sonic the Hedgehog. It looks fucking terrible. But Jim Carrey's gonna play Dr. Robotnik in that, and I'm like, it's gonna be a live action. It's gonna be a live action film. I think it is. Yeah, live action animated film. This Sonic the Hedgehog film is gonna have disaster written all over it. I'm sorry to say. But yeah, that's it for this video. But thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what your top 10 most anticipated films for this year is in the comments down below. I really like to hear what films you're looking forward to for this year. So yeah, so definitely give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, I'll see you all later.